is going on? My name is Azarus. Welcome back to some more Incredibox. Today we're going to be playing version 1 of Colorbox, which is red. They might be thinking, didn't you already cover that? Well, apparently they remade it to where it's basically a whole different version. So I'm pretty curious to see what they did to it to make it different. But before we check any of that out, let's check out this week's fan art. First one coming in from Ultimate Bobo. We got a whiteboard drawing of me and clearly John from Evacuate. Now this is actually pretty cool. This is also when I have my hair like super long, which you can see in some videos. The description to this is Azarus looking at something and John getting up to no good. I'm curious what I'm looking at, and I'm curious what John is doing to be up to no good. Pretty dope though. Hope that's a dry erase marker. Next one coming in from Animations. Now this one's a pretty creepy, crazy drawing. Clearly it's like actually wait, I just realized there's strings attached to the fingers. So I think this might be based off of the Colorbox black Azarus polo. Instead of the sunglasses, you got the blindfold though. Overall, this one is really creepy. I would definitely stay away from this version of Azarus from the looks of it. I don't know what's going on inside his mouth, but it doesn't look inviting. Next one coming in from Pufferfish. We got a very detailed looking Azarus right there. Some would call him Handsome Azarus. Honestly, pretty dope. I'm curious if you base this off of the red, considering I have a red shirt on, and oh, I also have a red sweatshirt on. Like the detail to this is pretty crazy. You got like the cheekbones showing, the neck muscles kind of popping out. Oh my god. Either way, pretty dope, Handsome Azarus. Next one coming in from Galaxy Knight. This goes to show that the corrupted Azarus may not be that bad, although he seems a bit confused on what's happening. So these are pretty dope. Show corrupted Azarus more love. Next one coming in from Unknown PG. I had to go with that name because I couldn't say your actual Discord name. I just don't know how to say it. Oh yeah, this is based off of the Colorbox version. Okay, yeah, this is based off of the Azarus in Colorbox version 9. You can see the eyeball in the mouth. That's pretty creepy, honestly. And then you can see the blood strings or ferrofluid strings on my hands. That's pretty dope. That's cool seeing a recreation of that. He looks pretty distressed too, which I guess I would be too if there was an eyeball in my mouth. Either way, that's gonna wrap it up for the fan art. I am enjoying the different takes on Azarus, the corrupted Azarus, and the whole Azarverse lore that's happening here. I feel like by this point, someone can make like a story about it. All right, so we're gonna move on to Colorbox version. Should we go over the descriptions? Like, I feel like we should go over the descriptions because I feel like they're going to be different. I mean, there's similarities here. I mean, let's just check it out. Is it the same? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the same song from the original. It's from a game called Changed. Not Changes, Changed. Either way, we got the... Yeah, this is definitely different. Yeah. Wait. Yeah, this is... Oh. Whoa. Buff. Okay, let's move on to the canon, it seems. Okay, name is Canon. Age none, gender none. A cannon that's used in the military of Red by Cam, which has been used in the recent battles with another color, is still the most powerful of the weapons. Are we getting weapons now? We got Mr. Time, age 40. Is this the same though? Oh, by the way, if you're curious about the original Colorbox Red version, I do have a video on it, so you can go check that out. I don't know if you can play the previous version before they updated it, so. Okay, no, it is a little bit different though. The Red Town's current mayor who oversees safety and ensures proper organization. Despite a serious demeanor most of the time, he possesses a caring nature and is eager to assist others. P.S. I'm Mr. Time. I'm writing these. I just love to write. Yeah, it is different. All right, let's move on to beat 3 now. We got Cam. This is Cam, age 23, gender male. Cam had joined the military at the age of 21. With his training, he is an expert in weaponry and stealth. After losing an eye and his left arm after a fight, he has taken a break to recover. He developed an infection causing persistent coughing and mouth bleeding, as well as having some black veins on his eyes, making the more noticeable one look that way. He also tends to be aggressive at times and may suddenly attack. This has made him become separate with his former significant other. This is definitely different and more detailed too. Yeah, some black veins. I'm looking at the original version right here that I posted and comparing the two. So yeah, let's move on to beat 4. We got the Bricks. It definitely looks better too. Name is Brickster, age 20, gender none. The construction worker for Red helps with building primarily with bricks and works quickly but carefully. The creature has large eyes and uses a substance to maintain constant activity. Doesn't like being bothered at work unless you want a brick in the head. I don't think I want that. Name is Beat, age 6, gender none. A member of the musical trio, designed to aid in the drumming section with a heartbeat-like sound. Very friendly in person and rather adorable, though they can't speak. This is a complete overhaul from the original robot, dude. My god, okay. Name is SafetyBot, age 21, gender none. Also, he was 12 before. Interesting. A 21-year-old security bot who is built to ensure town safety. Keeps enemies at bay and searching for potential suspects, ultimately leading to the discovery of a runaway. Additionally, it aids in the use of weapons during conflicts and has a gun for an arm, and it stands 12 feet tall. Instead of being 12 years old, it's 12 feet tall, which, that's pretty scary, honestly. Alright, moving on to the tree. Is it trees? Tree eyes or tries? Probably tree eyes. That makes more sense, right? Don't say anything in the comments. I know. It's tree eyes. I know. Age unknown, gender none. The tree growing near the town center has several red eyes of varying size, red leaves, and black bark. Everyone refrains from cutting down this tree because it just appeared one day. As much as I don't like this thing, I can't bring myself to get rid of it. I mean, it's very unique. You know, if it ruined my backyard or something like that, I mean, I don't know if I'd get rid of it. I mean, if it's harmless, that is. Or if it makes a nice, you know, effect. It is an effect. Alright, name is Rudy. Age 21, gender male, sorry. We know this guy from multiple versions. A miner that searches for rubies in a nearby ruby cave. One day he forgot his mining hat and a piece of the cave hit his head and it could not be removed. He's just forced to live with it. Rudy continues to explore the mine in the cave. Despite the accident, though now having to deal with constant headaches and pain. And we know what happens to him later on. Moving on to effect 4, we got gear, age 53, gender unknown. Oh, I can see they added eyes inside the gear holes. Very interesting. Despite their thin and hairy appearance, Gear is really strong compared to everyone else. Being able to bend a metal bar with his bare hands helps with mechanical work, including pipes and cars. Don't mess with them, please. Yeah. I can see the main difference between it. It's like very similar to the original description, but it is worded a bit better. Moving on to name is Edward, age 32, gender male. A worker that helps with the food stand. There are red fruits, meats, and candy available. That's a very weird selection of things, but few vegetables. Struggles with depression and has a short temper. Can also be impatient. He's also mildly chubby from stress eating. Alright, moving on to the melodies. Alright, melody 1, we got Piano, age 25, gender female, a member of the musical trio. Piano wasn't always her name. She developed an obsession with pianos as a child and eventually got one attached to her, allowing her to play anytime and anywhere. So mysterious, but so talented. Alright, next one we got Melody 2. Before she had a thimble on her head. Now it is on her necklace, which is cool. Name is Kimberly, age 27, gender female. Kimberly enjoys sewing clothes and other related projects. She wears her favorite sweater, a thimble necklace, and a cloth wrap around her right eye due to a scar caused by her former SO. She only removes it around trusted people as she feels uneasy with strangers asking about it. Moving on to Melody 3, we got Horn, age 34, gender male. I'm curious what sound he's gonna make. He is pretty similar. I think his clothes are a little bit different. Name is Horn, age 34, gender male. Member of the musical trio, Horn gained an interest in brass and was the main reason he formed said trio. Was good friends with Piano before while later building Beat with her help. The horn equipment he wears is removable and isn't really attached to him whatsoever, unlike Piano. Actually, I'm looking at both of the descriptions and they are exactly the same. Alright, moving on to Runaway. We got him in many different versions. He definitely looks a lot more distressed in this version. God. Name is Runaway, age 18, gender male. An individual who has fainted near town while only wearing boxers, but Kimberly was able to sew him up using some clothing. He has scars and bruises all over his body. Doesn't help the fact on how he looks to be suffering from malnutrition. He refuses to speak at all, so I provided him with a sketch pad and crayons to express his emotions. Most likely has panophobia. Next one is Lynn, age 26, gender female. Lynn is a demon. Despite her young age, she is a former member of the musical trio, a quad at the time, but left due to personal reasons. She now delivers packages to places but keeps contact with Horn and Piano. So despite having a threatening appearance, she's actually pretty kind towards people. Going on to the voices. Wow, yeah, I remember you. I was curious whether that's like blood or paint. Age 29, gender male. I have a feeling that's not paint though. Painter was hired to paint buildings and other structures, though Brickster was frustrated with his slowness, so he gave him a substance to help him work fast. Okay, I'm curious what substance he gave him. As a result, he has a constant smile on his face and large pupils, one bigger than the other. Although he did an excellent job, he got some paint on himself, and now he lives in town. Name is Rojo, which is red in Spanish. Age unknown, gender unknown. Unknown individual that's heavily wrapped in bandages. Burnt and blinded in one eye. I was told that their name is Rojo. That is the same as the original version. This is a little bit different. Seems you're only just saying the same 4 words. Okay. Moving on to voice 3, we got Hex, age 40, gender male. Alright, so for this one, this description is the exact same as the original. So I'm gonna skip past it. If you don't mind, of course. If you want to check out the full descriptions, I've read everything in the original one. This guy looks way different. Hold on, let me check. Looks pretty similar, although he looks a lot older because he has more like wrinkles. So this one is Loon, age 49, gender male. Also has the exact same description as the original, so I am gonna skip past this one too. And then for the last voice, we got Vo, age unknown, gender female. We've seen Vo in various different versions as well. An unknown individual that was caught wandering around the town. Although she is not currently considered a threat, we're keeping an eye on her. This one is a little bit different from the original description, but I think that is gonna be it. So let's move on to the actual mod. Of course, this is red. I do want to like go back and just remember how this sounds. So let me go back to one of my mixes here. Okay, now that we have a little bit of an idea of what it sounds like, let's check out the beats first. Let's check out beat 1. That's a sick beat. Dude, I love that cannon. I like how it fires that thing at the end. Super cool cannon though. I would definitely have that as a weapon. If it also makes a beat like that too, hands down, I'll take it. That was a cool animation too. That one looked really super different from the first beat. Also, the sound is different. Let's hear Mr. Time and see if he changed it all. Of course, Mr. Time, Clock Polo. Still never heard a bad Clock Polo. I don't remember if it changed at all. It does sound good. It sounds great. So I'm guessing it changed quite a bit from the original. Let's move on to beat 3. They revamped these beats and I'm liking it so far. That's one thing about Colorbox too. It's like they always go back and like redo the previous versions, which I always find very interesting, especially when they change it this much. It's pretty crazy. Let's move on to the bricks, which is beat 4. I felt like I was like in danger or something. The beats are pretty damn good. This whole revamp that they did, pretty solid so far, for the beats at least. Let's move on to the heart. It's a heartbeat, pretty much what I expected. Solid set of beats, man. I think the red version had a bonus polo too. I forget what it was, but it's definitely not here now. Let's move on to the effects now, see if we get a good bass or synth. I'm feeling the synth. I would not mess with that polo at all. 12 feet tall, buff, I'm good. I think that's more of a bass, not really a synth. Sounds good. Let's move on to the tree eyes. I will say, I remember not really liking the tree eyes in the original version. This one is amazing. I think that's more of like a synthy kind of thing. Top tier polo, weird tree eyes looking thing. If I heard that from a tree growing outside my house, I would keep it. That's me personally. I would keep the tree eyes. It might be looking at you, but it sounds good. Let's move on to Rudy. I feel like that's pretty similar, but a lot more happening in that one. Let's move on to the gears. I feel like I remember something like that. I think I compared it to hearing like silverware jingling in your hand. All right, let's move on to Effect 5. Let's hear it. Alright. Okay. He doesn't sound happy. I don't know if that's a sigh or if that's just how he breathes. Does not look very enthused. I will say that. Moving on to the... I'm actually pretty excited for this one. Let's hear it. That's pretty damn good. We've had quite a bit of piano polos throughout the Colorbox, and we've definitely gotten some good ones throughout the Colorbox series. This one's pretty damn good. Let's move on to Melody 2. got some bells in here. Very nice, lighthearted. Sounds like a joyous melody. Because we got other versions like gray, like black, and I feel like even blue. That sounded kind of sad. Let's move on to melody 3. Very majestic horns. Yeah, this is definitely like a complete remake on the melody even too, which is really interesting. While keeping the same idea for most of these. Let's move on to the 4th melody here. Wow, I was not expecting that. That's cool. Pretty cool animation for that. Fire melody though. I love that flute. I feel like it's like getting ready for like a samurai fight or something like that. All right, let's move on to the last melody. Sorry, it's the summertime and these gnats love this place, I swear. Sounds great. Very different take on it. Just to give you an idea of how different that sounds, let's listen to the original. It's crazy how much they've changed. I like it though. Alright, let's move on to the voices now. We get the apple.
Red paint the love of the town. Know myself best with a dozen rounds. On my shirt, on my shoes, on my knees. The color of blood and the color of tea.
I remember some crazy lyrics like that in the first version too. It's crazy how much different this is. Let's hear the original voice.
Painted tan red, you like the coast that we have bled.
Crazy difference. Alright, let's move on to the second voice here.
Flaming, scarlet, glowing, by.
Yeah, the lyrics to that one sounded familiar. I'm pretty sure it's very similar to the, or at least the lyrics are pretty similar to the original. Hold on, let's take a listen. Let's take a listen.
Scarlet, glowing.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. All right. Let's move on to the third voice here. The hexagon. Okay. All right, that is a choir. Not a bad choir. Not a bad choir at all. The thing I will say about these types of choirs is like the hard break from one note to another. I really like how they like flow into each other. Like the choir from version white was amazing. It was probably the best choir. No, it is the best choir I've heard in the Colorbox series. Let's move on to the necklace dude. Definitely an interesting voice. Not bad. Honestly, the voices are alright. Let's move on to the last one. Let's hear it. It's like a robotic choir. That's what it sounds like. Not bad though. We're gonna see how it sounds with everything else. However, we're gonna put the beats together first and see how they sound. I'm pretty excited for them. The beats are pretty dope. Alright, yeah, those beats go hard. There's no doubt about that. Alright, so let's move on to the effects now and see if they sound any good. I like that tree one. I really do like this tree one, so I think I'm gonna like these quite a bit. sounds very joyful and stuff like that. Then you got Effect 5 breathing in your ear. No, but that's a good touch though. I like that. All right, let's move on to the melodies now and see how they sound. God, this almost might be like a version 12. It's like a version 12.5, but not really at all, because it's just a remake of the version 1. Like I said, I do like this whistle one. I think that one sounds pretty damn good. And the piano does too. I really do like the piano. Those are the ones that stuck out to me. They all sound pretty good though. We're going to move on to the voices now and see how they sound.
Red paint the love of the town. Know myself best with a dozen rounds. On my shirt, on my shoes, on my knees. The color of blood and the color of tea. Red paint the love of the town. Know myself best with a dozen rounds. On my shirt, on my shoes, on my knees. The color of blood and the color of tea. Red paint the love of the town. Know myself best with a dozen rounds. On my shirt, on my shoes, on my knees. The color of blood and the color of tea. Red paint the love of the town. Know myself best with a dozen rounds. On my shirt, on my shoes, on my knees. The color of blood and the color of tea. Red paint the love of the town. Know myself best with a dozen rounds. On my shirt, on my shoes, on my knees. The color of blood and the color of tea.
I feel like voice 1 will go amazing with all these beats. I might have to throw that into the mix here just to see how it sounds. But without further ado, I think we're going to actually move on to make a nice red beat. When you think of Red, or at least when I think of Red, I think of like evil. Like I was almost like expecting like a sinister kind of beat. However, it was like peaceful and lighthearted and kind of nice. Like melody, it was nice. Definitely a huge switch up from the original. It is really cool that they went back and changed a lot to, basically everything to it. I definitely do want to know what you guys think of this mod, of this remake of it. I do know Rainbow is coming out, I guess somewhat soon. I'm going to be eagerly waiting, but I think in the meantime I'm going to be playing, unless it comes out like this week or something like that. If you want to see the original Red version, I am going to leave it down in the description if you want to go check that out, or if you haven't, or if you're curious about what the original sounded like. I will say this one sounds a bit better in my opinion. I do want to thank the members of the channel, people who joined the Discord, and thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, maybe, you know, slap that like, show your boy some love, maybe give a little subscribe too. I'm curious to see what I'm going to get into next, but I guess we will find out, won't we? Once again, I do appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.